I missed it. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. And he literally said the mics were open and I went on a diatribe. Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
Not care who doesn't like it.
It is Wednesday, not August, what month is this? April 27th, 2022.
Damn.
Yeah, man. No, I'm trying to skip ahead a couple of months. Anyway, James, how's it going with you this morning? I know we're waiting on the Queen to get here, but we are at her disposal when she arrives.
The Queen is always late. It's like by the time she get here, it's going to be the end of the show. But, I digress.
And then she'll be ready to go over stories that we already went over.
We can already cover.
Oh, man. Any person... I understand my wife now, because anyone who spends more than like 2 hours with me, I realize every single morning you guys spend about 2 hours with me, and you see how, James, how I go from this serious, it's the end of the world, all the way to like, we will literally laugh about anything. It doesn't matter how juvenile, it doesn't matter how gutter bucket, like it's the full range of emotions that you get with me any given morning.
Ben will go from UFOs in the sky and Area 51 to, he ain't got no goddamn sense.
To talking about voting rights, right?
Talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, or Chris Rock, you know what I'm talking about, see?
Or the baby,
Or the baby.
Gunning down people in Walmart.
And Megan Thee Stallion getting a pinky toe shot off. Goddamn.
It shot me in my pinky toe. But you know what? All jokes aside, no, I will set that joke aside because I don't want to make light of what happened to Megan Thee Stallion. Even though you set that up perfectly for Harlem Nights, I don't want to make light because, one, Megan is a human being, and then two, Megan is the baddest
humble human
rapper
being
in the game right now.
Right. And she's done so much good and everything, especially graduating from Texas Southern University. So yeah, that's a real queen. She's done rapping, doing everything that she's done, graduated college. So y'all can't say nothing bad about Megan.
I've never actually felt bad about my height in my life, James, ever. I never really cared that I was 5'7". Until I realized Megan was 5'10" without the stilettos on. So I'm like, man, what? I wish I was a little bit taller. But shout out to her. Let's get to some news before I get canceled this morning. It's always a race to see who's going to get canceled first on this show. How edgy will we actually allow ourselves, or will we try to play by the rules? Let's actually go. David, I'm going to hold that story for a little bit later, because that's not the kind of place I want to land that sentence. I want to talk about Harvard. Dr. Spalding on the last segment mentioned that Harvard was actually going to take some accountability, and I'd say that with quotations around it, for their ties to slavery. Harvard is committing $100 million to address its ties to slavery. The announcement follows an extensive report that articulates how Harvard was patronized by men who were made wealthy through slavery. According to the Creation Committee's report, the Legacy of Slavery Fund is a, quote, necessary predicate to and a foundation for redress. The fund stops short, this is the part, the fund starts short of calling for monetary reparations to the descendants of those who lived life as an enslaved person. This is a quote, the fund will perpetuate research, create more opportunities for people of color, and seek to memorialize those who were enslaved and honor their memories by creating connections to their descendants, said Dr. Stephen Beckett, Harvard historian, via the New York Times. So they're going to study, they're going to commemorate, but they're not going to run them their money, James. What are your thoughts?
Who determines how much is enough? Who determines that? Like $100 million. Did y'all just come up with that? Well, let's give them $100 million. That'll make them happy. I think it probably should be a little bit more than that. Just give us the university. We're cool. Make it HBCU. Harvard HBCU. How you think?
Harvard HBCU. I like that idea. Matter of fact, since you're not going to give reparations, which I don't understand, because if you're going to commit $100 million, do you know what $100 million would do for the descendants of slavery, for that group, for that descendants of enslaved people, rather? And actually, I like to say more precisely, the descendants of survivors of slavery, because our ancestors were survivors of that shit. But I digress. That money specifically targeting the descendants of the white men who got rich at Harvard off of their slaves. Like, we're not talking about all of African Americans, of all the descendants. We're talking about those specific people who are tied to Harvard. They have receipts. James, before I even finish that thought, I want to make sure this is not a mystery. We know exactly the men they're talking about. Look at the founding fathers. How many of them went to Harvard or connected to Harvard and owned slaves? So we know exactly the men. And we know the slaves that they owned, and finding their descendants would not be difficult. 100 million for that small group of people would change their lives and change the course. But instead of giving the money to the people, they're going to have services and commemorations. Okay, cool. Nice. Then the least you can do is make sure every black person goes for free. Go ahead.
What are they researching? What research?
How bad they were? What research? Yeah.
What research?
I don't know.
We already know everything. What are we researching?
I don't know. So what that translates into is that some probably white historian is going to get funding to research slavery at Harvard. I mean, yeah, I know people are like, oh, you can't satisfy these guys. You can't give them nothing. You can't just give us anything and expect us to be excited about it. That's the difference.
Right.
Here's a story that I definitely want to get Rebecca to chime in on, and we'll circle back when she gets here. There's a new survey that finds employees would rather seek different employment than go back to the office during the midst of this pandemic. Al Jazeera is reporting a new survey from payroll services company ADP, finding employees everywhere are demanding more security and flexibility. This has been intensified by COVID-19 and tight labor markets. Employees are holding fast to their demands as employers are trying to bring them back to the office. Surveying nearly 33,000 people worldwide, ADP found almost 2/3 of them would look for a new job if they felt forced to return to the standards on a variety of fronts, or rather return to the office. The pandemic has sparked a rethink of priorities. This is good. This is the best part about this, man. A rethink of priorities, and workers are signaling a willingness to walk away if employers don't meet their standards on a variety of fronts. Shout out to workers everywhere who are refusing to put up with this crap from their employers.
Yeah, and it's real, because here it is. You were telling us that our jobs, we can't do our jobs from home, but here it is. During the pandemic, we whole ass set up our home life and brought work life into it. So it can be done. After y'all telling us that it can't be done, it can be done. And now, because they're throwing out this narrative that everything is back open and it's safe, you want me back in the office. And my ass will quit in a heartbeat if you make me try to come back in office. As many people that are out here hiring people and doing everything, I can find another job with no problem. But you're not going to force me to come back in a place where I could potentially still get sick. The pandemic is still here, people. It's not
going anywhere. It's a whole ass pandemic.
Okay, so I'm not rushing to get back into the office. My boss and I had that conversation. When are we going to see you? Probably not going to see you. Special occasions. You know what? I give you special occasions. If we have a client visit, I'll show face.
February.
One day.
February
32nd.
You'll see me then.
Okay.
It's a method of control. Going into the office is a method of control. In fact, we all do know working from home is far more efficient. I don't know if anyone's done a statistical study of it, but anyone who's done it knows that you spend far less time wasting time at the water cooler, talking with your neighbors, or your neighbors talking to you. I never forget, Rebecca better hurry up and get here, because Rebecca used to be in the office singing all the time, James. I'm trying to prepare my stories for the day, and she's back there like Pamela James from Martin. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Really? So you don't have to deal with stuff like that when you work from home. You get more done. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You know what it is, Ben? This is what it is. You remember, I don't know if you saw that image. The guy posted that picture of, this is my office for the next 8 hours, and he's in the tub with the laptop sitting across the thing. I think that's what's prompted all these people to think, oh, y'all need to come back in office. It don't matter what the hell I'm doing. I could be sitting here butt-ass naked. As long as I'm working and answering the phone and doing what I need to do, I'm making you money. How I'm making you money should not matter. If I'm sitting here and long as I'm working, that's all you care about. You see me logged in, you see emails going back and forth. It don't matter if I'm in a tub, if I'm outside, if I'm wherever the hell I am. As long as you make your money is getting made, that's all that matters. Don't try to come for me because you can't do the same thing.
Well, see, that's the thing. They actually can. Man, listen, I've worked every kind of job, man. I've been a teacher. I've thrown trash. You know, I've cut grass, and I've worked with a tech company. I went public with a tech company. It was a fun ride. Can I tell you, their starting place is work from home. And their starting place is actually, it's take as many vacation days as you want, so long as you get your work done. Nobody checked over our shoulders. Nobody made us punch a clock. I mean, everything was literally, as long as I got my task done, I was able to go on vacation as much as I wanted to. And it just shows you that there's two different class of workers here, man. Like, we're all workers, we're all laborers, but there's those who have the ability and the flexibility to live their life as they see fit, and they're treated accordingly. The rest of us, because I've worked in both worlds, the rest of us are forced and herded into these warehouses where they exert control over us, and we have to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Like we get
so anyway, people said they're not going back to that yet no more. They done with that. They are not going back to y'all warehouses. A couple other stories here that I want to go over before we take a break. I want to go back to Georgia Fort's coverage in Minnesota. There was a Minneapolis protest in honor, or rather standing with Palestine. Minneapolis shows solidarity with Palestinians in an emergency protest amidst Israeli raids on the Al-Aqsa Mosque and attacks towards Palestinian worshipers during the holy month of Ramadan. Now, we haven't been doing much coverage of this, but this was a flashpoint in Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically, and Georgia Fort got coverage. Let's take a look at it.
Before attacking the worshippers in Aqsa, Israel killed 17 Palestinians just during Ramadan. 17 Palestinians were killed by Israel. At one point, they killed 6 Palestinians within a span of 48 hours.
So we're out here protesting against Israeli aggression against Al-Aqsa Mosque, which was desecrated and continues to be desecrated by Israeli forces during the holy month of Ramadan.
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry. Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry. Palestine will never die. Palestine will never die.
I don't think Palestinians should have extra rights. I'm not asking for those. I just want them to be treated like human beings. So imagine a mosque being invaded and attacked by hundreds of armed thugs. Now imagine that happening to a church. Imagine that happening to the Vatican. Imagine that happening at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. And what would your reaction be? We just want that same reaction.
One of the things that we saw with Ukraine is that people can care about issues that are not in the U.S. They can care about issues that are overseas that don't directly impact them. And so we're saying, hey, if you can care about the Ukraine, then you can care about Palestine. And especially, again, considering the fact that the U.S. plays a pivotal role in Israeli occupation with the funding of $3.8 billion annually.
No more violence, no more crime. No more violence, no more crime. Israel out of Palestine. Israel out of Palestine.
Israel is in a losing battle. Wallahi, I'm not just saying this. I'm not bluffing. All right? We have Palestinians resisting against one of the most powerful armies in the world with rocks, and they were able to drive out Israeli soldiers from Al-Aqsa. Israel is in a losing battle in the public image, and so they are desperate, and they're doing everything that they can to stifle Palestinian resilience.
Shout out to Georgia Fort for being there and getting that footage and that coverage there in Minneapolis of an emergency protest standing in solidarity with the people of Palestine. James, I don't know if you remember that episode that we covered. It was about a year ago, and we're speaking with the sister there from Palestine, and forgive me, her name escapes me, but a bomb went off in the middle of that interview.
Oh, right, man.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, and David, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that was tied to the attacks on the same mosque over a year ago.
Same mosque.
So the same mosque, yes. Okay.
Wow.
So we'll be keeping, and so you know. Go ahead,
Al-Aqsa Mosque it's like a focal point. It's one of their most significant places of worship, and because it's, I believe, I don't know the map by heart, but I believe it's in the center or right in the heart of Jerusalem, and so this is not a coincidence that they're doing this on Ramadan, during Holy Holiday.
And I love, I when that brother in the video said, I'm not asking for extra rights or special treatment. He said, can you imagine this happening at a church? No, I can't. To be quite honest with you, I simply cannot. Can you imagine this happening at the Vatican? No way in the world this happens at the Vatican. But had it happened at any of these places, what would be our reaction? And I think the just thing is to have the similar reaction to this in that same way. So shout out to Georgia for getting that coverage and sharing it with us. Vice President Kamala Harris tested positive for COVID-19. On April 26th, the vice president's office announced that Harris had tested positive for COVID-19. According to her press secretary, Harris will isolate and continue to work from the vice president's residence. The press secretary, Kirsten Allen, said due to their respective recent travel schedules, Harris hasn't been in close contact with the president or the first lady. CNBC is reporting that the vice president is the highest ranking Biden administration official to have contracted COVID. The president, despite coming into contact with those who later tested positive, has not yet caught COVID. Both the president and vice president are vaccinated and boosted. So we are still in a pandemic, man. Still in a pandemic. Shifting gears really quickly to one more story.
Hold on. Before you get there, it was a pregnant pause for a reason, Benjamin.
No,
because
oh boy,
how Kamala got COVID, she don't never go nowhere. But you know, I digress. On to the next story. You in the house? Ain't never. You know what? Never mind. I love you, Kamala. But how? House is VP. I don't. Okay, let's go.
I didn't say it, but I'll stand by my man who did. I got your back. I got your six. Joe Manchin. This clip right here, I really wanted Rebecca to be in, but we'll bring it back when she gets here. Joe Manchin says he's concerned about voting rights in this country. Okay, I'm not going to go on a soliloquy describing him. Let's just play this clip of Joe Manchin saying the country has a lot of work to do to ensure voting rights access, and says that he is particularly concerned about it. Let's take a listen in.
Sir, on voting rights, I've always believed that healthy democracy depends on a voting system that is accessible, free, fair, and secure. While history is going to tell us that we've come a long way in ensuring all individuals, regardless of their race, sex, or political affiliation, have the ability to cast their vote, we can all agree that we still have a lot of work to do. I'm particularly concerned about the recent opinions and rulings that seem to undercut decades of established legal precedent under the Voting Rights Act.
You know what's particularly disgusting about this clip is that Joe Manchin is the individual, the key star of the filibuster standing in the way of voting rights being protected, specifically protected. So it is the situation where the villain, the blood-drenched villain in the movie, is standing in the temple saying, I'm so sorry, we have to make sure that we protect everyone from the violence that villain created. Well, in this story, Joe Manchin is the villain. He is the one, along with his bestie, Kirsten Sinema. They are the ones who are standing in the way of voting rights being protected, and yet he has the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the caucasity to stand there and say that it's the top of his concern, James. A
Republican in Democrats' clothing.
Yep. Might have a couple of sheets in his clothing basket. Anyway, I digress. Moving on.
Benjamin said it. I didn't, but I stick beside my man.
I'll go. That's a hill. I'll die on that one, James. You take the Kamala hill. I'll take the Joe Manchin hill, man.
All day.
I know somewhere in that man's family lineage is a Klan robe or two. The way he's carrying on, you can't tell me that somebody in his family ain't been at a lynching and then go to Sunday school. Come on. Joe Manchin, worried about voting rights, my ass.
His family members in that scene in Django Unchained. You know what scene I'm talking about? They out on the hill the first time they put the mask on. Oh, yeah. This people's one of them. He's one of them. He's just looking down the hill.
Speaking of other ones of them, because you said he's a Republican in Democrats' clothing, let's talk about his colleague, Representative Cawthorn, Madison Cawthorn, who yesterday was dressed in you said the negligee just wasn't fitting right, correct? That was the problem. It wasn't that he was wearing a negligee, it's that he just wasn't wearing it right. Well, now he's gone thug life now, and Madison Cawthorn got caught with a gun at the airport. From North Carolina. He was cited for having a gun at the Charlotte Douglas International Airport. This is the second time Cawthorn has been discovered with a gun at an airport, and he could face fines up to $13,000. It was loaded.
Wait, hold on. He had the gun at the airport, trying to board the plane, loaded, and all he could face is fines up to $13,000.
You said it right, Dwayne. Yeah. So, now, anybody else would have been put on that no-fly list. So.
No-fly list would have been sitting under the jail.
Right. Second time.
Yep.
Man,
Exactly. Second time offense. And so I don't know if he's trying to juxtapose the negligee life with thug life. Doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, how do you get away with this? Twice. And only $13,000? The math ain't.
I honestly think he's trying to run for office off of this type of stuff. I think that it's a calculated move and decision. And the privilege that assuming that he's not going to get arrested, that's just another.
It's got to be.
That's
political,
a whole nother
level. It's got to be political privilege on that, because I don't think this is white privilege, because I don't think this. You get random Jimmy Crack Corn from Bethesda, Georgia, come up with a loaded gun. His ass is going to jail. He'll make it to jail alive. I'd be dead. You'd be dead. All black folks be dead. But everybody else is going to be arrested. Remember the guy in the Atlanta airport who mistakenly had a gun, and that gun mistakenly fell out and went off. They tracked that man down, and that man is going to serve some time. Obviously, because that's the system that we have. It's set up that way, but not for politicians, apparently.
Yes,
we have a visitor.
Man. Well, that said, we have now coming to the stage.
Why you say it like that, Ben? Put
your hands together. Ben?
Hold on.
No. Put your hands together and show your love. I was about to do the Steve Harvey thing.
Before we do that, there was a clip to go with that Cawthorn story. Let's watch
that clip real quick.
Oh yeah, okay.
3 sources tell our team that U.S. Representative Madison Cawthorn was cited for having a gun at Charlotte Douglas Airport this morning. Now, according to the TSA, a 9mm handgun was discovered at checkpoint D. The TSA declined to identify the person, but sources say 3 of them, that it was Cawthorn. It's unclear if he'll face any criminal charges for this. A spokesperson for CMPD would not immediately comment. This is not the first time that a gun has been discovered on Cawthorn at an airport, though. We know in February of 2021, TSA found a handgun on Cawthorn's carry-on bag at Asheville Regional Airport. Cawthorn did not face any criminal charges for that incident.
Christ. No charges. No charges. The rest of us.
Them hoops is big. They about to weigh your head down, girl. Do you hear me? I love it, though.
The queen has returned.
Not as big as my head is. It's a very balanced situation.
Rebecca, your head is not that big, Rebecca. Your head.
Now, I will say, I think I say this all the time on the show. Like, I have a lot of hair, so it gives when I was bald, because I had shaved my head off before in my life, and I realized I ain't got no head in the bag. Ain't no head in the back. All this time I thought I did, but honey, I ain't got no head in the back. Nothing. Nothing.
He's just like the flat head.
You late.
Yeah.
You laid on your
that's where it's at for me.
Right, Dwayne. I think that's what it was. That's
popping in the back of the head.
Because my head is actually, if I cut my beard off, y'all, my face is really round. Like my head is like really round like a globe. And it takes me to cut my beard off for everybody to see it. That's why I don't say this thing down there. So y'all will never see it.
Round, I love a good round face. You see, I mean, I love my face. I have like a long face, long head. Right. So when I do like my ponytails and stuff, it's just really long. Like, you know, like the Kelly Rowlands of the world, like those people. It's just long face, right? But I think, you know, everybody has a nice shape. Ben has like a he's a round head too.
Glober. I'm a glober. Flat.
Yeah. Oh, the head? Oh, I'm talking about the face. Now Ben's head.
I'm what's the official name of the alien of the
WAP head?
No, the scary aliens from the movie, the anthropomorph or whatever. That's the kind of head I got. Yeah.
You got the alien. Turn to the side, Ben. Look. Oh, okay.
No, man. No, Ben got a hit on him. Yeah, we all got.
Hey, look here, Bambi. Now wait a minute. I wasn't gonna tell you.
That's what I was thinking of. They called me Bambi in college. So they called me Bambi in college because we all went. I think we talked about this on the show. We all went.
Xenomorph. Thank you, Tigers.
Xenomorph.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I'm in the Eeyore, any horse-like animal. That's where I'm at.
I used to call her Inspector Gadget.
Like Meg the Stallion.
Oh yeah.
I hate when they do that to her. Every time she laughs, they make the horse noise. But my friends did that to me in middle school. If I would start talking, they'd be like, they would do that to me. No, it's not that funny, Blaine. And then I was really tall and skinny, and then like I had no body, but I used to look like I was walking forward, so it would always look like I was galloping.
What Mike Epps say? Bevo Lottie got more head than you got body.
That's what I was. That's what it was for me back then.
Oh, so, merciful Jesus!
And you learn to just grow into all of those features, and then everybody be on you. So I got no problems in my lifetime. But
man, I love Rebecca come in and just literally. It don't even matter what we talking about. She just takes it to 12. Rebecca, I love it. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I hope that you guys have been having a great Wednesday. And
we've been holding it down
Cawthorn?
For you.
Cawthorn.
Who was that?
Cawthorn is the guy we just covered him yesterday. He was the one with the who had the picture of him in the negligee, which was fine, whatever. It's just like James said, it was improperly fitted. It just was a bad fit.
It wasn't.
I haven't seen. I don't know who. I haven't heard this story.
He's a Republican congressperson from South Carolina, or is it North Carolina, David?
North Carolina.
This was him on Monday. Right, no problem. I mean, cool. Like he's having the time of his life.
Well, it's not actually Monday. It was like before.
Right. Well,
Congress, but
figuratively speaking, this was him on Monday, and then this go to what's next on Tuesday. On the next day, he was coming out thug life. Got caught with a gun at the North Carolina Charlotte airport. But all he's going to face is fines up to $13,000. No criminal charges as of yet.
He was at the. He probably was at the. He's at the Capitol on January 6th.
He is definitely
9 times out of 10.
Is he a January 6th-er?
He is a 6th.
Yes, he goes along with Marjorie Taylor Greene and
that's
the whole crazy Q crew.
Okay,
whatever.
So he I just want to know his importance because he looked familiar. He almost looks like one of the people also who was, trying to not have Ketanji Brown.
No, he
looks like those people, but look, because they gotta look. They gotta look.
They do have a look.
There's features on those people. January 6th, that same day, they were sitting in front of Ketanji trying to call her all kinds of disrespectful names. Had her looking. They gotta look. Okay. Anyway,
very much Doug funny.
Right. Well, I like Doug funny, but they gotta look. They gotta look. Anyways, I just said that to say I don't know that man, but just looking at him, and I hate to say we could judge a book by its cover, but anything y'all tell me about that man, I'm gonna believe it.
You gonna believe it?
I'm gonna believe it. I was gonna believe it.
I was gonna try to go down a couple lists of things that we could say about him, but I don't think we can make up anything that's worse than what he really is. So we digress. We'll
so, I mean, if he's a cross-dresser, that's not a problem. Like you said, Bubba, it just wasn't given. His outfit just wasn't given. I don't know if he was doing that to be.
James, you know I've got to research it. You know I'm gonna have to research it now because you dropped it a couple times.
Just look up the definition. Don't look up pictures. Just look up definition.
Okay, just definition. Okay, all right.
Definition of what?
So he's dropping Easter eggs in the show.
Is that
I think
I don't know.
Yeah,
that term.
I think it's not for. I think it's for.
It's not for the straights. Okay.
Anywho, his cross.
There you go. I didn't know how to say it. There you go.
If he's a cross-dresser, that's not the issue. But I know that people that majority of the people that are that are conservative thinkers or are January 6ers, they are not about anything LGBTQI plus. So I'm not sure if
at all
it's like that for mockery or for whatever the case.
That's a good
some
question.
of them times they do that. They go out. They be doing. I don't know what the reason was, but to juxtapose that with the. I guess what he was caught with. He's probably pro guns. I'm pretty sure he's pro. He's probably all
Absolutely.
of that. So it all falls in line for that.
Yep.
So
all that was a campaign ad. That's all that was.
Y'all think they caught him with the gun in his stockings like he was one of them Wild West floozies?
Jesus Christ.
And the little garter belt came the way.
You got to make sure see when you say stuff like that, you got to put your camp and it don't even matter. He's a bald black man, so they're gonna think he me anyway.
All you gotta think is Kevin Samuel's mindset, and you got Dwayne right there.
Wait a minute. Damn, Dwayne.
High value man. That's what you got right there. That's what you got.
Dwayne, you might have to cut on your camera and defend yourself on that one, bro.
No, because I believe that he probably liked some of Kevin Samuel's.
Man, I haven't watched no Kevin Samuel's clips in forever. And before, when I was watching them, I was watching them just for laughs. Same thing I do on Twitter. I go on there just for laughs.
Yeah. You still watch them?
Not no more. But.
Oh, I want to do these after party ones here. Those two after party ones, I want to do them in the live show.
Which one? The one about the one that I had.
Well, the C-SPAN call it.
No.
Well,
the C-SPAN one we can do. The other one we can't do publicly.
Why?
Because of the music, right?
Yeah.
What music? Okay. The one on you talking about the one that I dropped for CMT about CMT?
No, that one we have ready for you.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll do all of them. Go ahead, Rebecca. It's in your hands, Captain.
Well, last night as I was up in the wee hours of the morning because I couldn't sleep, I got up because the spirit hit me in my shanana, and I got up to pray. And I got on Instagram after I prayed. That wasn't a good follow-up for me to do, but I couldn't sleep.
With the Lord, but okay.
So I got on to Instagram after I prayed, and I said, because you be friends with the celebrities in your head. So Monica, I'm like, why is she posting at this time of night? What's going on? So she actually posted about her being called out by He's actually a journalist or a reporter, and his name is Patrick Howley. And he, I guess, men with microphones, they got a podcast, you know what I'm saying? And so he went to discuss, and this was a few weeks earlier, maybe like a week or two ago, when the country music, what's the T stand for?
CMT is the TV.
Yeah. Okay. CMT. So it was the Country Music Awards, though. CMT Country Music Awards. So, what we have. Let's take a look at what Patrick Howley said first, and then we'll get to Monica.
This award show was really kind of a train wreck. There was a chick who was co-hosting it, and they said that she tested positive for the Rona. So let's take a look last night.
I know all of you were looking.
I don't know who this black guy is who's hosting it. It's supposed to be country music. No offense. I mean, y'all have hip-hop and basketball. You know what I mean? It's like, just fly with your flock, bro. Not against you, but you're up here being like, the melanated people invented country music.
At the CMT,
we was making country music in Wakanda before Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard done stole the black man's country music. It's like, all right, bro. It's so angry. There were so many black people there, sorry to say, but like so many black celebrities who have nothing to do with country music. And it's like, Why? No disrespect to the funky brothers of music. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire, Run DMC, etc. But I mean, like, country music's different. Country music's different. It's not Wakanda.
It's not Wakanda. It's not country music. It's not Wakanda.
It's not Wakanda.
But that's funny. But Anthony Mackie is a well-known. I think isn't he going to be Captain America?
He played freaking Falcon in Marvel movies, and also is the new Captain America.
Thank you. Okay, so to disrespect him, and whites, they love the Captain America and all that good Marvel stuff. They love that stuff, so they know exactly who he is. Talking about who is this, and then to say who is this black dude. But that's not the issue here. The performer was Monica. And so, as I'll read what she wrote last night when my Shana woke me up and I went to the gram after prayer, she took to Instagram. She said, "I've never been more motivated, Patrick Howley. Although your feelings are likely shared by some, it's not by the masses. I have an all-star legendary team of true country artists that are currently working with me that would beg to differ because of the genuine hearts." And then she said, "I shared the stage with Jimmy Allen and Little Big Town, who we know are huge country music artists. This was the first of many times that you will see me. I see you caught that my skin is melanated, but you missed that it was tough." Monica, I could hear her saying that for sure. She said, I'm rooted in the word. I'm rooted in the word and built to last. See you soon, or should I say welcome to Wakanda. Gracefully. And then she says bows with Anthony Mackie. And so if Monica's actually working on a country music album, and she's been promoting that. Really? She will be doing country music. And so a lot of people who have country music. Let me start here. Historically, country music don't belong to whites. Historically, country music is the start of it was from melanated people, out of Wakanda. So and for a lot of country singers and artists, people who are true to the country music, they'll even give their props to the people who came before them and how the country music was taken and remixed and, to sound like it is. That's why when you hear country singers, there's a little twang in what their voice is. You don't hear that with regular white folks, but with the country music singers. Yeah, they got a little twang in there because it is something that was fashioned after black artists and black artistry. And so there are a lot of black country music singers who just don't get the shine. I've listened to them. I've actually, here where I live, I've heard them being interviewed on the country music stations because it's real country out here. But for this man who is, and he actually is a reporter for, of course, like Fox News and all these other. Well,
that explains a lot.
Here's the thing. For him to be able to just be blatantly racist is not the shocker for me. It isn't. But white folks just really, they come in and take stuff and then believe that it's all theirs. And then they'll say, well, good example, Twitter. Twitter being where it is and what it is due to black culture. If black folks didn't get bored and get on there and start having true conversations with each other and calling out white supremacy, arguing with each other about different things of our culture, start posting pictures of our looks and having conversations surrounding that, now creating a space called Black Twitter, Twitter wouldn't be where it's at, right? And I can say that for sure. But then you have people like white folks who now want all the power and want all the credit. And so now they do things like make their commentary on there and buy it out and things like that. And here we are where this white reporter came out of nowhere. Never seen this white reporter before. And he had the nerve to disrespect black presence at the Country Music Awards. And I hope that people rip him a new one and then school him on country music and how it was hijacked, colonized. And then this is we're giving what you see here. And
for him to say country music it's just different. It's not this. It's just different. How? Because you think it's supposed to be only white people? No, my brother. Do you know how many black people are in country music these days and in topping these charts? You need to do your history, man, because it's a lot of black people doing country music. American Idol, it has at least 3 or 4 black people that are singing country music this season. Okay? Yeah. It's just like, y'all need to get over it. Y'all know they can stand it. Somebody just said
it. Babyface did a song with an artist. Yeah, it was really nice. It's a country song. It's a country R&B song too, honey. Because, you know, country music is really R&B. But anywho.
It is.
But I was listening to, and I'm like, this black country artist I have never heard of. Like, he's charting, but you won't hear him in groups like with people who are in country music. Nashville isn't going to be something that really blasts this artist for real. K. Michelle started off doing yodeling and country music. That's where her background is. Yep. So in her album, you'll hear her drop like 3 country songs often, and she always gives credits to the greats before her, black ones and white ones. And so now I think this understanding that country music is just white is crazy to me, especially if you hear how they're singing. That doesn't come from regular white style of singing. That's not historically. That is something that comes from black people. And
y'all can't tell me that Carrie Underwood don't have some black somewhere in there. That's
with a hinge of soul. Yeah. Anyway, I say all this to say, I don't like when these men, especially just men, get the mic, right? And get these mics and start these little shows and stuff and just be loud and wrong. Girls as women is doing it too. They're doing it too. Hey, but something about these men grabbing the mic and just being loud and wrong. Hold on. And then the white ones, the white right-sided ones get on here and just be like black, ER, black, ER. Joe Rogan, black, ER. That's it. That's all they do. Everything makes them mad.
It's true. You got the baby crying, Rebecca.
Sorry, beautiful baby.
I'm like, it's not all men, by the way, because I mean, goddamn, I think we do pretty good. The majority of
it's
us
different,
anyway.
But it's different over here. Like I get on here, I say what I say. Now I'll drop the facts of the news, and then I'll have my say about it. But honestly, I said this before. Majority of the podcasts that go viral are black men saying something against black women. And then we see white people from the right who are grabbing the microphone, and anytime they say something that protects their whiteness or what they think is protecting their whiteness, and they're speaking against black people or supporting things that are clearly racist, prejudiced, they go viral. And then we see podcasts like Joe Rogan. Spotify gives him millions of dollars just to stand down on him saying ER. Hard ER.
Hard.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it beat them boys.
Boys.
Island boy.
It beats them.
Island boy.
I'm an island boy. Anywho, stop playing with me. Look, stop playing with country music, okay?
Okay.
Ask about it before you get on your mic. And Wakanda is a really beautiful place. A lot of people are trying to claim it. And Atlanta can't even claim Wakanda. It ain't Wakanda over here either. It's too much of a precious place, and with black powerful people who do really amazing things. And so you couldn't imagine colonizing that place. You just couldn't.
Right.
You just couldn't. So the Country Music Awards could never be Wakanda. However, we can definitely buy it back. Buy it black. We can definitely pull up. That's why they got Anthony Mackie at the forefront. They want to be inclusive all of a sudden because they understand that there will be a time that black folks will start creeping up and start critical race theory. They don't want to be a part of that number. So they was like, let's put a black man on the mic right now so that we can get right in front of it before they start putting out historical facts about white folks stealing songs, country songs.
Here it is, Rebecca. Here it is. What they mad at is that they came over here trying to gentrify hip hop music, R&B, and all our other shit. So now they get mad when we over here gentrifying country.
Shout out to the boy. Shout out to the boy, Lil Nas X.
already ours. We can't gentrify something that was already ours. We allowed the artistry to be there. We said, okay, if you gonna sing, you gotta sing. Blue-eyed, blonde hair, you gotta sing. We just want to hear it coming from your soul. Okay, that's all we want to. That's all we want to do.
But when they start imitating a little too much, it get on my nerves, to be honest with you.
Well, if you
they
can
say
sing,
imitation is the highest form of flattery, but honestly, it's just annoying me.
If you can sing, you can sing. Honestly, I don't care if you're white, black. I don't care what you are. If you can sing,
not when they politics, they on there singing the soul and preaching their hearts out, black as they want to be, and they preaching white supremacy, and they, that's when I have a problem with it. But other than that, yeah, give me an Adele some singing any day. Shoot,
I have a problem with Well, Adele's from, the UK. They got a different kind of voice over there, too.
They do. I thought you were going to say they got a different kind of racism over there.
They do. No, they got a different kind of singing voice. I don't know. They could just, it's something that they can sing out there. But it's something about the...
Said that.
Iggy Azalea, who's from Australia... and people have a problem with her doing... I forgot
she's from Australia.
People have a problem with her doing the accent or the black accent. I never really had a problem with that because when I hear artists like, and I'm going to say Eminem, love and mean it, we don't hear him talking like the man that we just heard talking about the CMT.
At all.
He just has it. He just who you're surrounded by. Now I know that Iggy Azalea's from Australia, but people had such a problem with her rapping in that voice. Yes. But then I heard the girl that does. I understood the assignment. I had that. I thought she was black. Yeah. That's a white woman. White. Completely white. And she is profiting off of this black accent and black. I went to go see her as well. She wears wigs. Like Bad Baby. Not Bad Baby. Is her name Bad? The little girl that you said.
Meet me outside. Meet me outside. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That little
she
girl,
can actually rap though.
Wigs. She wears the wig. She does the whole thing, and she's benefiting from it, right? She's benefiting from that whole thing.
Right. They can monetize our blackness. We can't.
We can't do it though. We can't use that. We can't. We out here. This is what we do. We wear the wigs. We don't wear the wigs. We have full lips. We got we have the accents. We have but for something.
Y'all have they have the butts. Remember when big asses were anathema? They're like, oh my God, her butts were so big.
Oh my God, now they have the booties. Now they have the booties. Same thing with the lips. The braids. The braids to the back. I said K. Michelle made a song called I Wish I Was a Kardashian So I Could Be Black. She said, put my face over Tupac, wear my braids to the back. Because
I never heard that one.
That is acceptable. And I love that song. And I hear it and I understand what she's saying. Hey baby. I hear what she's saying. And in this culture, no matter what we do, no matter where we are in it, this space that we're in, that man went viral for his commentary, right? White folks can get a mic and say the same exact things that we're saying. They don't even experience the same things that we're experiencing. That's why we make most of the news that we do, something that is either somebody talking against us so that we can step right before it and speak for our people from our experiences.
That's right.
But when a group of people who are, white are saying the same thing, it seems to be more grounded and more acceptable, more palatable for people to hear and to monetize.
That's right. It's the 5 heartbeats. Nothing but, remember they took them off the cover and put those dudes on the cover so that they could sell it mainstream. It's still the same phenomenon. And I'm quite honestly kind of tired of it, to be honest with you, because I do not want to see blackness wrapped in white faces. No. I want blackness from where it comes from, right? From the original source. The thing is that the algorithm, the capital, the money, the structure, the infrastructure, the system, the policing, everything is structured to benefit whiteness in this country. So, Cash Me Outside, Lil Mama can go and become a millionaire, multi times over with that. With a black affect.
She just made.
But when you see a black person doing it, then
She just made, I think, over $50 million from OnlyFans.
50 million.
Damn.
50 million.
50 million.
How much Tiger made?
I'm never gonna hate on a girl who I'm never gonna hate on a woman who and she's to me still a young girl growing into a woman, but I'm never gonna hate on these people taking advantage of their success to become all of this. But like I said, there are people who are doing the same thing in our space who get to just roll over in the bed, get on, put their camera on, and make money to support their whole life and things like that, who are white, who are saying what we're saying, who literally watch us to grab our talking points and utilize it on their channels and go back to bed. I have to do this, fight for our people, say stuff for people who look just like me and you, or have the conversations where we agree to disagree. Get off of this, hurry up and go get lunch so that I can cook it before I log in or log back in to my 9 to 5.
Well, all hearts and minds are clear. Moving on. I mean, not moving on, but like sit in it. Like we got about 2 minutes left before.
We got about 2 minutes left. So people who are watching the show right now, if you haven't, follow us on, and below is all of our Twitters. I need you guys to continue.
Don't follow me on Twitter. I ain't going to Twitter no more. Y'all got that. Y'all keep that one.
I haven't
follow everywhere else though.
24 hours. You're not on Twitter no more?
I mean, I don't know. Whatever publishes through Twitter is automatic at this point. I ain't giving Elon Musk no more of my data.
Okay. No, I said I haven't seen you on Twitter in the last 24 hours. That's
I ain't gonna be on. You ain't gonna see me there no more.
But
I'm good.
But yeah, just follow us on Twitter. You guys can follow me on Instagram if you would like as well, @thesongstress. Right. Help us build our community. Help us build our platforms, and so that because we're going to be doing extra stuff on on the side as well, and we want you guys to follow all of that and to continue to help us push forward so that we can again be unchained and be able to do this for you guys every day, and know that we're just not a monolith even here. There are so many things that we can do to help us grow and to help us build and sustain ourselves so that we can continue to do this with you guys every single day. So follow the show if you haven't already, and if you got here, please like, share, and subscribe even after we get off the air. Share it with the family members, share it with the friend. It's a vibe over here. Continue to help us push the platform. Love you guys, mean it. We have reached the end of the show. I don't know if you guys want to keep it live. I don't know if you want to take it to the after party. We got a few more things that we want to discuss, and we'll see you there at the after party. I don't know what y'all want to do. What y'all want to do?
We're following your lead, Karen. We're going to the after party, I guess. That's where we're going.
Okay, yeah, we're going to the after party. Love you guys, mean it.
Finish what we started.
See you there. Hey, I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna listen to that later.
Right, Rebecca.